a lot of interviews, but I'm so excited and happy to meet the both of you. What was it like on the first day of set when you were both on set together for your first scene? Did you notice the crew and cast around you were a bit like, this is happening, you guys?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Quite happy. I was quite happy to be with him, and every single day. And you try not to, but every once in a while people would go like,
this is what's happening.
But it was interesting because she already worked for a week or two before I ever got on the set. And so when I worked the first day, you could tell always when the photographers come around and they wanted to take their pictures and they get this first picture out there, the first minute when you work together and all this kind of. So there was a certain excitement also on the set amongst those kind of 300-400 people that worked on the set, So we could feel the electricity there.
There was a few very interesting kind of nuggets throughout the film. Like, obviously, it's a fantastic action movie, but there was stuff that I was picking up on that I was like, that's interesting. Where obviously the border wall for one, the line about the room full of guns, and it's just like, well, it's Texas, and of course there's guns. Mm-hmm. And then you have a fantastic line where you're talking about how they're afraid of her womb and how it's a thing of power. There's some very interesting kind of subtext stuff going all the way through. Was that the discussion you had with the director and writer where you wanted kind of more topical stuff in with the action?
Well, we didn't really invent that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the writers and Tim and Jim. But in terms of just making it a story that applies today, all of those elements were, very appreciated. We don't want something that just rings hollow and that's repetitive. We want something that speaks to today's audience.
Yeah.
I think that's Jim Cameron. I think that he's a very, very deep guy. He really, when he writes with depth. And just the very fact, when you think about it, that he was really the first one to hail women in movies. I mean, the character that Linda played in 1984, there was no woman like this before that played such a heroic figure. There's a normal woman that then becomes the woman that crushes the Terminator, that all of a sudden takes on this responsibility. I mean, this is really brilliant writing. And then to continue on into Terminator 2 and all the other movies, and not just her, but Sigourney Weaver and other women that he has kind of elevated. So that's... I think it's brilliant thinking, it's brilliant writing, and it's kind of like really kind of the way the world ought to be, right? Because that's the reality of it. There's heroic women in real life and heroic men in real life, but we just don't see it in movies that many times, the heroic women and the really complex issues about women and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And like on the topic of heroic women, you were... and still are one of the most iconic, strong female characters. Obviously, Sarah Connor, Ripley, like they're the female characters that are put up on a pedestal, and that every female character strives to be that. And now it's great that it's come back again, because you can almost see, because last year we had Jamie Lee Curtis come back for Halloween, and it's the next generation, you coming back again to save the world again, and it could be that you could be at the forefront of another kind of type of movie where it is these older women who are saving cinema.
Fair enough.
Will you be okay with being the face of that again?
Absolutely. I want to make old the new black.
Okay.
But the trick of it is, as she can tell you, it's not easy.
No.
Because I mean, she outperformed herself. I mean, because she had to kind of step in and be an ass-kicking woman, and therefore you have to do the physicality. You have to be as good physically, and you have to be as quick with the guns, and you have to carry the guns are getting bigger and heavier all the time. So you have to deal with that issue. And so she did an extraordinary job, and only because she prepared for months and months for that role and for the physical aspect of it, she was able to pull it off and totally believable.
Absolutely. It was
Thank you.
Fantastic in it, both fantastic in it.
When this is all over, I am going to kill you.
I understand.
I'll be back.